So I am doing my SAMx talk on confidence and how you can use that to help overcome performance anxiety. My name's Tyra. I'm in my fourth year of human kinetics, and I'm a sprint hurdler on the track and field team. So in every sport, there's going to be moments where it's just you, and feeling confident in your abilities is going to help you to perform your best. That's not only in individual sports like track and field and swimming, for example, but even in team sports too, like when you take a penalty kick in soccer, serving in volleyball, for example. There's lots of moments where you're going to need to rely on your own skills and you're going to feel the pressure. When I was going into my first year, I felt incredibly anxious to go into any competitions. This was partly because I was injured in grade 11 and 12. So going into races, I just always had a fear of injury. I also had been my times from grade 10 where my PBs were. So I felt the pressure to perform as good as I was when I was in grade 10, and I was not doing that due to my injury. So I felt a lot of pressure to perform and just fear of injury going into my first year. But I did learn a couple things that helped me to come out of my first year feeling way more confident, and I ended up having a lot with the sport again. So I'm going to share some of those points with you today. The first thing that I learned is that anything can happen at any given moment on any given day. And although that sounds like a cliche statement, I feel like a lot of people don't understand the power in that, because no matter what you think the favorite outcome is in a situation, whether that be you're going into a race seated last, or you're going up against a team that's won every game so far this season, and you feel like you're probably not going to do that well, today's game or today's race has not been run yet. So don't decide what this outcome's going to be before it even happened. Give yourself the chance and acknowledge the potential that lies in each situation. Because what if today's the day all of the things you've been working on in practice finally click? What if today is the day where you run your personal best? You never know what's going to happen yet. And that being said, sometimes you might have had the worst sleep of your life leading into a big competition day, or maybe you've had this little nagging injury and you haven't been feeling good at practice, but you might end up having the best race of your life or the best game of your life, because sometimes that happens and you can't predict it. So just remember that anything can happen. The next thing I learned is that if they can do it, you can do it too. And so when you're in a situation where there's somebody doing something you wish you could do, maybe they're running a time you wish you could run, they have a skill you wish you could acquire, there's two ways to look at that. You can say, oh, I wish that was me. You could feel that gap and that lack, or you could see it as, why not me? Because you don't really know what you're capable of yet. And just because you haven't done it yet doesn't mean you're not going to. You don't know what you're going to be doing next week or next year. Everybody's developing at different rates anyways. And sometimes you're going to really impress yourself with what you can do. I'm sure we can all remember times where we've done something we didn't think we could have done before. So don't let those gaps discourage you. Instead, look at it as encouragement of what you can be and what you are capable of. The third thing that I learned in my first year is to acknowledge your success. There's a lot of things that we've been through that are unique to us and allowed us to get to where we are today. And it's important to remember those things and remember what you're proud of and call back on those when you need that extra encouragement, whether that's writing a confidence script for you to read over when you need the encouragement, or remembering things that your coaches have said to you. Just remember that, and remember that you deserve to be here. We all bring different things to the table. So be proud of yourself, be proud of what you've been through, and give yourself the chance to do the best you can do. So those were the three most important things I learned in my first year, and they helped me to have really the best track season of my life at the time. I went from feeling literally incredibly anxious going to every race to having fun with it and getting excited to see what I could do. So I hope that some of those pointers can help you too. And thank you for listening to my presentation.